Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome to Man vs Film. This week I'm going to be talking about Fury Road, a movie that I've seen twice so far and I'll probably go back and see it a third time.
Man vs Film.
Mad Max Fury Road is a somewhat sequel, prequel, sidequel, whatever you want to call it, to the Mad Max trilogy that came out from 79 to 85 and starred Mel Gibson. This time around it has Tom Hardy as the lead character of Mad Max, and it has a host of other characters in it. The plot of the movie is fairly simple, and I don't want to spoil it for you by telling you about it, so I just want to talk about a few of the things that I really loved about Mad Max Fury Road. And let's just get this straight off the bat. I thought this movie was a masterpiece from start to finish. Fantastic, shows what a range of filmmaking skills, and it's just a pure joy to watch. So let's have a look at some of the characters in it. Straight off the bat, we've got Tom Hardy as Mad Max, the character of few words. He doesn't talk very much. Probably half of his dialogue comes in voiceover at the start of the movie, and the rest is mumbles, grumbles, half words, half sentences if he really has to speak, and it's only when he really has to speak that he does. Yet throughout this sort of almost mute performance, the character develops throughout the full story. Is something that you very rarely see. It just shows you that you don't need dialogue to make a character develop. One of my other favourite characters is Furiosa. Charlize Theron is fantastic and steals the movie for me. She is a co-lead in the movie, and it's Mad Max in title, but it's Charlize Theron's movie. She stars as Furiosa, and she is a woman with a past. She's been damaged in certain ways, physically and psychologically, and she's looking for redemption. And it's her part in the movie that really motivates the plot along. And her and Max end up together on this journey, being chased by several armies worth of apocalyptic maniacs as they hurtle down Fury Road. The other main actor in the movie is Nicholas Hoult, who plays Nux. Nux is one of the war boys for the main villain, the piece who we'll talk about in a minute. And Nicholas Hoult has probably the biggest changing character, the biggest storyline throughout the whole movie, and it's interesting to see from where he starts to where he gets to, and it's really just a fun part. Now the main big baddie is this guy. That's Immortan Joe, and he's played by Hugh Keys-Byrne. Now, if the name rings a bell, he played the toe cutter in the very first Mad Max back in 1979, and he's back again as the other main villain this time around. And he's got this really grotesque teeth kind of gas mask that he wears. He's got this big clear bodysuit thing. His body's covered in sores, and he's the leader of the war boys in this whole citadel, this sort of landscape that has the only plant life for miles around. He controls the water. He keeps all the people as low as he can possibly keep them while still functioning his almost cult-like presence. Now there are a few other main characters, but I just want to point out my favourite. This guy here, who steals every scene he's in, has not a line of dialogue, but is absolutely tremendous. I love this guy. I think he's called the Doof or something like that, and he's just a blind guitarist on bungee cords, and it is ridiculous. Which brings me to another aspect of the movie that I absolutely loved, and that is the score for the movie. It's a heavy drum based influence, you know, chase music, and it's synthesized with like heavy electric guitar as well. It's integrated into the actual movie itself, so you notice things like the camera will pan by the chasing army. It'll come up to this big vehicle that's half drums, half guitarist, all amps, and as it zooms past it, the music can fade in from the left, fades out in the right. The score's integrated to the movie. One of the best things about this movie is the way it looks. It looks unlike anything else I've seen before. There's been a certain care taken here for this action movie. It is glorious. It's vibrant reds and browns, it's dark blues at night. It's just luscious to look at. There's certain shots, like one when Charlize Theron collapsed in the sand at one point and the wind's blowing the sand across it. It is an absolute beautiful shot, and it's something that's not really taken time or care in action movies. As modern blockbusters go, this really shows you how it's done. It keeps the story tight, it keeps the story simple, and it fills it with action. Now, it may sound daunting to have a 2-hour action movie that is literally 2 hours of pure action, but the action scenes change and evolve throughout the full movie, that they're always keeping you tense and excited. They're not the same thing repeated. It's brand new action, it's really exciting action, and it's stuff that I have never seen before in my life. The vehicle design in this thing is amazing. The vehicles are just wacky hybrids. They're just things that have been cut together and put together, and it's just by some mechanical genius madman. And they're just wonderful to look at. The characters themselves, they're all wild and wacky and have their own traits, and throughout the movie you encounter different groups and different gangs, and they've all got their own aesthetic depending on where they live within this world. It's a world that you want to see more of, and not everything's explained, and that's a good thing, because you don't want to be force-fed every bit of information in it. This is just a sort of alien world. This is an alien environment where we've been placed, and you know what, it's just not going to hand everything to you. Some things you just need to accept what things are there for. Mad Max Fury Road for me is an absolutely astounding 5 out of 5. It's a masterpiece. It's probably going to be my favourite movie of the year. Like I said, I've seen it twice already. I wanted to make sure my thoughts were straight before I did this review, and I will probably see it at least another once, probably twice in the big screen. It is that enjoyable a film. And also, if you like these videos and you want to see my content first, I will put a link up here to subscribe to my channel. It will also be in the notes below, and it's on the main YouTube page. I will see you next time on Man v Film.